You're listening to the Team Stripes Podcast.
Everybody, welcome back to episode 81 of the Team Stripes Podcast, proudly presented by Acme Whistles, helping you make the big call since 1870. The legendary Acme Thunderer is now available in matte black. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Ross. Ross, how are you today?
I'm good. Just hanging out. I was in Minnesota for a few days to celebrate New Year's with a good friend of mine. Got to skate outside, so that was cool. And just hanging out with the pups and getting ready to put my nose to the grindstone, so to speak, with 11 games between Wednesday and next Friday.
Lovely.
Oh, well, 11 junior games, I should say.
First time skating outdoors?
No, I've skated outdoors once before in New York.
Good. Nothing better than skating outdoors.
The best part about it was getting to watch some kids play shinny. Like, they're all like high school age. It was just fun. Like, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
One rink they were playing there were no nets or nothing.
Perfect.
They're just skating around, passing the puck, and it was just cool because that's just the game in its purest form.
I don't disagree with that at all. Do not disagree. But speaking of, you wanted to bring up the bubble that's going to happen for the USPHL.
Yeah, so the USPHL last month decided that they were going to bring everyone down to Tampa. So this is the NCDC, which plays in the Northeast, their premier, which is kind of all over the place, and the elite level, which is also kind of all over the place. For those of you guys that don't know what it is, they operate outside of USA Hockey. So like they're their own junior league. Use the NCAA rule book. The NCDC is their tuition-free level. So kind of comparable to the NA. I don't know. One or two teams might be up there as far as skill level. I don't know. I've never seen it. So I've heard some people say it's as good as the NA and others say other things. But yeah, so they're coming down. We got referees coming in from all over because unfortunately, most of the guys that are here don't really have the availability to be able to work a couple games a day while they're supposed to be at work, doing their real job. So it's going to be fun. That league's spending a boatload of money to bring all these teams down here. We're playing at 4 different rinks. We're playing in Wesley Chapel. There's a 4-sheet facility there. Single sheet in Lakeland. We're playing in Brenden, which is my home rink, and then also down in Ellington, which is like 30 minutes south of me.
So is it just going to be straight hockey all day long, pretty much?
No, actually, there's only like 3-4 games a day. Most games are done by 2:00.
Oh, that's not bad
at all. Except on the weekends, it goes a little longer. But during the week, the games are starting at like 9 a.m. And I think the last game starts at maybe 1 at the latest.
That's not too bad at all.
It's going to be fun. Like I said, we got referees coming from all over. We're going to try to get some interviews knocked out while the boys are in town. Should be fun.
Oh, for sure. It always is. Going from one bubble to another bubble, though, the World Juniors, I guess today would be the gold medal game. We got Canada and the United States, which
they're going no rest.
Correct. So it'll be Tuesday, so January 5th. They'll play their gold medal game. I think it's a 9:30 puck drop on the East Coast, 8:30 Central. Okay. I think kind of going into this, a lot of people knew Canada was going to be in the gold medal game. After the round robin, I think it was kind of a guarantee they were going to be in it. I mean, their quarterfinal game was, I believe, against the Czech Republic. No issue there. They played Russia Monday night, beat Russia 5-0. I mean, Russia didn't play good. I think they had 11 or 12 shots heading into the third period, something like that. USA, though, for the, I guess, coming in from Group B, I was hoping for it since the round robin because obviously there's nothing better than Canada USA gold medal.
Nope.
USA beat Finland. I believe I just finished watching the game, but I
It was
believe
what, 4-3?
4-3. Yep, Finland was down 3-1 going into the third, clawed their way back. US scored a goal with like a minute and 15 seconds left to make it 4-3. So again, Canada, US gold medal. We also have Russia and Finland are going to battle it out for the bronze. As much as I want to say Russia's going to win the bronze, I think Finland's going to find a way to somehow either tie it really late in the game, as they did against the Swedes to beat them in the quarters, or how they did it against the US. I think Finland's just going to grind out, play their game. But speaking of the World Juniors, we're going to do a preview show on our YouTube page. So we will go a lot more in depth into the gold medal game there. So that's kind of all we have for the World Juniors. Obviously, it wraps up today. Go look at our YouTube page for the preview show. We'll go super in depth there. But moving on, NHL training camps opened up. I believe it was December 31st for non-playoff teams.
Yeah, for the teams that didn't make the playoffs.
And then the teams that did make the playoffs, it was like, it might have been today, or January 3rd.
Yesterday was media day, I think.
Okay.
Or Saturday was media day.
So like January 2nd or 3rd, they opened up. So NHL training camps are back in full swing. We are, it is now 7 days away from the NHL opening day.
8 days. 8 days from this recording.
Okay, yeah, 8 days. That makes sense. Bad at math here. But I mean, look, we got the NHL back in 8 days. Some cities are allowing fans, some aren't. I know there won't be any Canadian teams with fans. I know Dallas is going to have limited seating. So
Tampa, we're going to have fans. We haven't announced how many yet, but I have a feeling I wouldn't be surprised if we have one of the bigger attendance.
Yeah, I think Dallas said they were going to do like 5,000 or something.
Yeah, Tampa probably be somewhere around there. It should be higher in my opinion, but but the governor of the state of Florida did say that if all the sports teams are allowed to pack their stadium to capacity. Sorry, I was looking for the right verbiage.
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of with everybody, we're just happy hockey's back, NHL's back. As we said before, it is going to be a shortened season, different divisions. To me, I think it's going to be a very interesting year with everybody only playing within their division. So it's
definitely going to be the most unique hockey season, or the second most unique hockey season ever.
After last year?
It's just crazy world we live in, right?
Yeah. But we don't have a whole lot on the training camps. Obviously, they just started up.
About the only thing I have on training camps is they are limiting access to them. So like the Lightning, usually we have 4 or 5 of us that get to referee scrimmages. They're only letting 2 guys do it.
Yeah.
So I did not make the cut.
Yeah, I was working with a buddy this weekend that he's going to skate Chicago's, and they have to go through, I think it was like 2 COVID tests before they were allowed to enter the facility. They were going to get COVID tested when they entered the facility. So that's really all I know. Obviously, by this time next week, we'll be on the eve of the NHL coming back, or a day or 2 away, which is always nice. One thing the NHL is doing this year, though, to make up for the lost revenue in tickets are the helmet ads.
Yep.
Now, some people love them, some people hate them. Ross, what is your opinion there?
I don't mind. They're so small. It's not a big deal. Obviously, the Capitals, it worked out for them. They got Capital One, so seamless there. I think Jersey has Prudential, no big deal. That's the title sponsor they're building. Same thing with the Caps, and I think that's pretty much what everyone's going with. at least the ones that I've seen, is the sponsor of the building with the naming rights is the one getting the helmet ad.
Yeah, I mean, I know Pittsburgh's doing their PPG paint or whatever it is.
Yeah. It's such a small little sticker.
Yeah,
As long as we're not getting, like, even if we get little ones on the jerseys, like I know like the Lightning have Dex imaging on their practice sweaters,
Mhm.
and it's small,
Yep.
like 3-inch by 2-inch. You know what? Even if they go there on the sweaters, whatever. As long as we're not going full
European
European
style.
hockey. I don't mind them on the refs. Obviously, we're seeing it at the World Juniors. It is what it is. Like if we got to make money somehow, and we have ads on our helmets in the ECHL. As the referees, we got the Hockey Monkey logo.
Mhm.
I think some of the teams have ads on their jerseys too. So it's any way to make money I'm okay with, as long as they're not obnoxious.
Yeah, I agree with you there. The only one that I've seen that I haven't liked is the Flames. Their sponsor is Scotiabank. They're a title sponsor, so it was a no-brainer for them to get it. The only issue is Scotiabank's logo, when you put it on a red helmet, looks like Carolina's logo. So it looks like a Hurricane logo, just a little bit different. So that's a little bit weird to me. Personally, I would like them more on the jersey, just a little 3-inch by 3-inch, whatever it may be. I don't really care.
Again, it's one of those things, like, we're really only ever going to see it when we're zoomed in on a player on TV.
Exactly.
It's going to be so, like, it's one of those things that we'll forget about a weekend of the season.
Yeah, it'll just kind of be normal. I mean, because we see it at the World Juniors, everybody has the big forehead stickers.
Yeah.
Some teams bigger than other. I know USA has Chipotle. The Russians has Toy.rs. I don't know. It's obviously a Russian website. But,
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's nothing super obnoxious like the forehead stickers, I'm okay with it. I would prefer them on the jerseys. As for referees, I mean, to me, it looks kind of funny to have a logo on your stomach, but look, I mean, hey, whatever. I would wear one.
If a company is paying the league money to wear it, just do
exactly.
it.
I'm not going to be the one to say no.
I mean, it's just. I was just going to say, it's just been par for the course over in Europe for so long now that if it makes its way over here, it is what it is.
Yeah. To go along with the NHL and NHL training camps, we've had a few signings, a few PTOs that we have to talk about.
I'll start with the signing. I saw a really funny picture. It was the guy that tweeted he just bought and got his Boston Bruins Zdeno Chara jersey.
Yep.
He puts on the jersey, sends out the tweet. What an awful day to get this jersey.
The day Zdeno Chara signed a 1-year deal
with the Washington Capitals.
Yep. So he signed a 1-year deal at $7.95. I have nothing to really say about that personally. I think he wanted to be in Boston.
Other than it's going to look weird seeing him in a Capitals jersey, whatever.
The only weird part as well is he has to now play Boston 9 or 10 times next season.
Yeah,
like that's going to be a little awkward. But I mean, that's biggest
knowing
signing.
Knowing the respect that he has from that organization, there won't be any bad blood or anything like
no.
that.
I mean, they're better not.
He's one of the classiest guys in the NHL from what I understand. So,
and he won Boston, I think 2 cups at least?
No, I think wasn't it just one in 2011?
It was definitely that one. Yeah, I guess only the one then. But yeah, he was I guess the biggest surprise out of all of the signings. I mean, nobody super major. You look at Pierre-Luc Dubois signed in Columbus at a 2-year, $10 million deal. Good on him for getting paid. He's he's always impressed me. He'll always be impressive, I think, and a 2-year, $10 million deal says that. Dylan
Yep.
Strome re-signed in Chicago at 2 years at $6 million. Hopefully he can find his game in Chicago. He was finding it a little bit late last season. Phoenix had him originally. They traded him away. Hopefully he can find his game in Chicago under the veteran leadership. And then one last signing, we had Ethan Baer sign a 2-year, $4 million deal with the Edmonton Oilers. He really didn't come onto the scene, I would say, late-ish last year for the Oilers. He's a solid defenseman. He's on the smaller end, but from what I was watching of him, he can move the puck around on the PK incredibly well. So all that does is make the Oilers a little bit better, which they need all the help they can get. But for PTOs, nobody really knew.
Yeah, really just the big thing with the PTOs is Mike Hoffman, which we already talked about.
Yeah. So
and I was listening to another podcast, and basically the PTO for Hoffman was only signed so they could get his rights and get him into training camp.
Correct.
While they're waiting on getting the long-term IR stuff taken care of for Tarasenko and one or two other guys.
Yeah, so I mean, that one we definitely did talk about, and yeah, like he's gonna sign with St. Louis. He's not one of those guys on a PTO that like, oh no, he needs a good camp. Like he's gonna sign there. It'll be nice if he has a good camp, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The only other big one that really stuck out to me was Travis Hammonic. He is signed a PTO with Vancouver. To me, he's a really good defenseman. He's only 30 years old. The Flames let him go, didn't re-sign him. I think he would be a great boost in Vancouver. He's a veteran. He's a leader. He's been there. He's done it. I think he's going to sign out of camp as long as there's space. But, I mean, for PTOs, it's generally guys, either trying to get back in the league or trying to stay in the league. Scott Darling signed a PTO in Florida. So he's trying to come back in the NHL after, I think he's been out of it for 2 years now. But that's all I have for the PTOs and signings as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, those PTOs hopefully turn into contracts. Some will, some won't. So we shall see, obviously, with training camp. One big thing that I don't think we touched on, the AHL has officially announced the starting date for February the 5th.
Yep.
28 teams said they're in. The only three teams
are out.
Yeah, the 3 teams that are out are Charlotte, Milwaukee, and Springfield. And I believe those are Charlotte's is Carolina's, Springfield's is
No, Charlotte is not Carolina's anymore.
Oh.
I think Carolina's with, I want to say Chicago Wolves.
Oh, wow. Not with any Florida teams? Okay.
No, it's there's no American League in Florida.
Fair.
Yeah, back in September, the Hurricanes switched to have the Chicago Wolves be their affiliate.
Which makes,
and I think that's the main
sense
reason why Charlotte's out, is because they don't have an NHL affiliate right now.
That's fair. Milwaukee's also out in Springfield. I believe Springfield was St. Louis's, from my understanding. But in the AHL, they're going to do a realignment just like the NHL did. So they have the Atlantic Division, Canadian Division, North, Central, and Pacific. Yeah, the Atlantic has 3 teams. I would hate to be in that division because
I mean, they're not just going to play each other.
I hope not, but
that's going to be, could you imagine?
That would be horrible. I mean,
hey, play 50 games against the 3 of you.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I mean, like, the schedule would be like, oh, you play 2 weekends, get a weekend off, play 2 weekends, get a weekend off, which, okay, might not be too bad, but against the same 2 other teams all year long, I mean, that would suck. The Canadian division isn't much bigger. There's only 4 teams in that one. They are still waiting to hear if they will be allowed to play in Canada. I'm guessing because the NHL did, the AHL's not going to have that big of an issue.
Well, no, I think the problem's going to be is they're probably going to have to cross the border if they don't isolate off that division, which they can't. There's only 4 teams in it.
Okay, so then do you move the 3 Atlantic teams up into Canada or bring the 4 down?
You got to do something.
Because if you combine those 2 divisions, which I think you have to, you're either moving Bridgeport, Providence, and Hartford up to Canada.
Yeah, I honestly, dude, that's so above our pay grade. I don't even have I don't even have an opinion there.
Yeah, or I mean, hey, you know what? Just play your 50 games against 2 other teams and play your 50 games against 3 other teams. That would suck,
Right.
but at least they get to play hockey. The North and the Pacific, I don't think a whole lot's changed there, and same with the Central. But the AHL is going to be playing, and that's huge, I think, for everybody. It's obviously good for hockey. I don't know anything about the AHL except for it's obviously the minor leagues for the NHL. But they're starting February 5th, which isn't all that late considering they always start a little bit after the NHL. So AHL's back, and that's awesome. Now, I want to talk about something that came up in the World Juniors I guess it was almost a week ago now. And it was the goal that the Germans scored against the Swiss, that it popped up on the Facebook page. Guy made a play. The German player made a play, skated into the zone backwards, did not have the puck on his stick as he entered the zone. They called the play onside. The Germans ended up scoring. Now, Ross, you said it was onside.
Yes.
I said it was offside.
Yes.
So,
all right. So,
where do you want to start?
Okay, so first of all, we made the mistake of talking about this before we were recording.
That is true.
So, I'm just going to try to start. I want to walk through the play here.
I'm down.
So, let me see here. Let me just kind of. So the German defenseman headbands the puck. This kid, I don't even know his name, but
Suzuki or Suzuki, or I think it's Suzuki.
No, it's not Suzuki. He'd be playing for Japan if that was the last name.
He's playing in Ottawa next season. That's all we know.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't even go back to Germany. He's going right to Ottawa.
Yeah, he's going straight to
playing in the NHL this year. Anywho, so defenseman headbands it to him. He's skating backwards. He's got a Swiss defenseman on him. He accepts the pass, gains possession and control of the puck when he accepts the pass. He then basically passes it to himself. He makes a skilled play to put the puck into open ice to go around the defenseman. So, it's one of those things that when you're looking at the rule book, this is one of those weird ones that's not really covered. He's making a highly skilled hockey play. So he gains possession and control of the puck with his feet outside the blue line. And then he like I said, he passes the puck to himself, essentially, to go around the defenseman. And yes, the puck leaves his stick before it crosses the blue line. His feet then go into the zone, and then the puck comes into the zone after his feet do, which a lot of people are like, oh, he should be offside there. One comment says he lost control of the puck before the puck crosses the blue line. He didn't lose control of the puck. He's making a skilled hockey play by putting the puck somewhere where he wants it to go. So, in my opinion, and the referees on the ice, they did have help from the guys up top, and the IIHF, and like that's going to be a good goal. That's going to be a good goal in the World Juniors. That's going to be a good goal in the NHL. And any pro hockey that you're either going to have that review or the linesman says, yeah, that was, a good call. Because obviously the call on the ice was, a good play at the blue line, which at full speed, the linesman might not have actually seen that the puck did in fact go in after. But again, in the replay world that we live in, the guy makes a skilled play, and then honestly, you could have almost called the defenseman there for an interference based on the lane that he took to box out the German player who was going after the puck. And then obviously he scores.
Yeah, so here's my issue with it, and I think talking about this beforehand, what it really came down to is what your definition of possession and control is.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly it. Like, the definition of possession and control here is really what defines whether or not this play is offside or not.
Because I agree, yes, he did make a skillful play, but in looking through the double IHF rule book, from my understanding, from my interpretation of everything, you have to have possession and control. You have to have a puck on your stick to have possession and control, not just possession or control. So yes, did he gain possession and did he make a controlled play? Yes, I don't disagree with that. But then he went into the zone and then the puck came in after and he didn't have possession or control of the puck because look, it's sitting in open ice.
Yeah. I just like I said to you before we were recording, I always remember back before USA Hockey and stuff changed their mentality on things. You were always in possession and control of the puck until the next guy got it, or it hit the boards, or it hit the net. Like, if it's just going to open ice, it's still technically your puck.
I agree with the possession part, but not the control part there.
Well,
because you are in possession.
Yes, but did he put the puck where he wanted it to go?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know. I'm not a mind reader.
In my opinion, with the way he made this play, yes. So technically he controlled it and put it where he wanted it to go.
I think it's so tough to say, oh, yes, he controlled this puck. Like, did he put it to where he wanted it to go? 95% sure, yes.
Yeah.
But there's still a 5% chance that, you know what, he actually did mean to, carry the puck in on his backhand and just went oopsies and forgot the puck for a hot second.
Well, yeah, and there's that too, but these kids are so good, and this kid's going to play in the NHL this year.
Oh, 1,000%.
It's just one of those things, like, when you get to the higher levels, and I won't drop a name, but I've had a discussion with a friend of mine who is a NHL referee, and we talked about like similar stuff like this. And he's like, the linesman, like a goal like this happened in a game that he did, and he's like, and this is the way the linesman explained it to me. He's like, the guy made a skilled play. We're in the business, obviously we're the entertainment business, so we reward skilled plays and goals. Like, so that's just kind of the mentality there behind it. In a youth USA Hockey game, you're probably going to blow that dead because that's 100% accidental.
Well, and the kid's probably not going to get that puck anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
He's probably putting it off the defender skating out the zone.
But, and again, like, we're looking at you're looking at the best 18 or 16 to 20-year-olds in the world. A good amount of those kids are either playing in the NHL, the KHL, some of the American League, or, whatever pro league from the country they represent. So, like, these are all good hockey players, and it's a good skilled play. And I'm very happy that I was happy with the call. I liked it. I thought it was one of those plays too, like, as that linesman, he very easily could have blown the whistle.
Yep.
And you know what? No one's going to say anything about it. But it's part of me on plays like this, and you see it on goalie interference too, I almost feel like we're starting to get a little too reliant on video review. And I think that also could be, we're not there. Like, I'm not on the ice. This World Junior thing's way above my competency or skill level, whatever. But it's one of those things, like, you see it night in and night out in the NHL, and maybe, other leagues too that have video review, where you have a play that's so close, we're just going to wave it, or we're going to point at the net, and
if it's wrong, we can fix it
and let the video review handle it. And you know what? Like, I don't mind that, because we're going to get the call right one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you rather let the play out? Like, because they started doing that in the NFL now, where they don't hammer the whistle on something that, like, could have been a pass that hit the ground, but the the defensive player gets up with it and runs it back anyway.
Yeah.
And before, they would used to just blow it dead, but they had enough plays where they shouldn't have blown it dead, and the defending team gets the ball, but they're stuck with it where they received it, not where the guy just ran off to. So I think we're just kind of getting into that reliance on video replay. Not saying that this is the case in this play. I mean, the linesman very easily could have just made the best, one of the best calls of his life on that line call. But at the same time, like, but I think it was onside. I like the call. That's, I guess, does that all make sense though? Like,
yeah, no, for me personally,
sorry for going on a tangent, guys.
No, it's one of those ones where we have to talk about it, because I mean, we're going to see 150 games in, over the next year or whatever, and that play will not happen. Mm-hmm. It just won't, unless kids start mimicking it. And if they do, there's going to be a lot of confusion. Yep. I think the only way because right now in the rule book, there's nothing that backs that up as a good wave. There's no rule that says you can make a good hockey play,
mm-hmm.
and we'll waive the offside. Now, if they put that rule in, which I wouldn't mind if they did that. Like, if you think he purposely made that good hockey play, which at that level he did, he meant to do that. I think they have to add that into a rule book at the higher levels of hockey, not necessarily don't do it in youth hockey, because that
is a Pandora's box we do not want.
Exactly. But like at this level, the IIHF level, Division I, where these kids are NHL prospects, they all play major juniors, they all play pro hockey over in Europe. There needs to be something that says, hey, look, you made a great hockey play. We're going to reward you for it. And there needs to be a rule that backs it. And I think that was my biggest issue, is you look through the rule book and there's nothing that says that plays onside.
Yeah.
And
trust me, I thoroughly understand your argument. And it's a good one, because you are correct. There really isn't anything that backs it up. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those, like, it's an interpretation. You kind of dig a little deeper. You say, okay, this is a skilled hockey play.
Very skilled.
And we need to reward that, because at the end of the day, that's what the game's about, is those, those great skilled plays, scoring goals. And I think it was, a good call. And also, I do think we did miss a slash or an interference on the Swiss defense.
23 right interfered with him, no doubt. I mean, turns away from the he does everything to interfere with him, but I mean,
yeah,
I don't know how you.
But at that point, anyway, the referee's probably like, wait, I think that play was offside.
Oh yeah, if I'm the referee, I'm looking at my linesman like, are you sure that wasn't offside?
Are you sure?
Yeah, but I mean, as far as review, I obviously use it. You have it, but I also don't want lean on the crutch. Don't use it as a crutch. It's definitely there as a good tool to get it right for these situations.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we almost see a little bit too much of guys going, hey, you know what? We'll waive this offside or we'll call this goal and we'll just go review it. And if we're wrong, oh, well, not a big deal. I
Yeah.
think,
Well, now keep in mind, and this is something that goes on, is these guys do get rated on challenges.
1,000%.
So, like, they do get rated by how many they have overturned against them.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's one. Now, not necessarily these guys in the World Juniors, but mostly I'm talking about the National Hockey League.
Well, I mean, these guys are getting graded on, getting into the quarterfinals, semis,
Yep.
and then into the finals. As
Yep.
everybody that's worked any tournament knows, look, there's only one gold medal game. Only 4 guys are going to be on it, and there was 20 some odd officials working this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
There was guys that didn't make it to the quarters.
At the end of the day, like, if this offside play is the biggest controversy to come out,
awesome.
Let's do it. Now, something that I kind of have to address.
Let's hit it.
About a discussion that happened in the Facebook group where a particular person basically said the referees were trying to throw the game for Canada.
Yes.
So I don't know how many of our listeners were referees back when the NBA had that controversy with the referee that was gambling and doing all that kind of shady stuff.
Didn't he make a good amount of money doing that?
I don't know. I know that one of the kids in our local association who refereed here, his father is an NBA referee, and they live next door to that guy.
Oh.
So there was news outside their house, this and that. And then that summer, I happened to attend a camp that no longer exists up in Canada, run by some NHL officials, and that actually came up in one of our discussions. And I've never seen guys get so, like, passionate about, like, well, I mean, we get passionate about stuff, but man, the NHL guys that were in the room were like, it's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
It questions every sport. It doesn't just look bad for the NBA. It looks bad for everybody. Because, obviously jokingly or maybe sometimes seriously, coaches will be like, oh, how much did they pay you? This and that. Okay. Then there was a controversy in the kind of to go along with this comment in the gold medal game of the 2002 Olympics in the women's game. Won't name the referee, but everyone there was an opinion that she, being an American official, was trying to help the Americans win, which is actually a reason why after that tournament, the IIHF made it to where you can't referee your own country unless you're an NHL official. That was the deal they made with the NHL. These guys that are out there doing this World Juniors, and pretty much any referee at any level from youth up to the NHL, and let's think about these guys at the World Juniors too. Like, all these guys are NHL prospects.
Yep.
Like, they are on the radar to get to the show. Some of them might have been low on the list or maybe not quite on the radar, but they are now. And these guys, I would put my life on. There's no way in hell any one of these officials would purposely try to throw a game. If anything, they'd be calling more penalties on the Canadians just to kind of show that that's not what they're trying to do.
I was going to say, I'm very interested to see the gold medal game, how hard it's going to be for Canada to get a power play.
Right.
Just in the sense of the Canadian officials don't want to be the guys to give Canada a power play, and Canada wins it 1-0 off that power play.
I would not be surprised if that game goes without a penalty called.
I mean, look, it's a gold medal game to begin with, so let the boys settle it is my kind of mentality. But yeah, I mean, you really, if you think any of these officials, even for a hot second, are like, oh, you know what, if I wave this offside or I wave this icing, it's going to help Canada or it's going to help whoever and hurt a different team. I mean, you're in la la land, because at this level, you know what? Yeah, these guys are all Canadian, and you know what?
But none of them are going to risk their future of trying to get to the show on a junior game.
Nope. I mean,
so
it was definitely a sad thing to see.
At the end of the day, I'm just going to leave it at this. If we want to bash other officials, like, that's low. I don't think we should be bashing guys. Question, maybe, if you do it the right way, but don't bash. But please don't question anyone's integrity.
No,
because we all know when we put on the stripes, we put on our, whether it be USA Hockey crest, Hockey Canada crest, IIHF, NHL, American League, Coast League, you name it, the professional beer league players league, whatever. The integrity of the game is like the most important thing. And I it's just, you can't, like, we start questioning that kind of stuff, especially within our own community, and that gets out, then you got the mainstream fans questioning it. It just opens a can of worms that aren't even there. So don't bash other officials. Constructive criticism, cool, but at the end of the day, please don't question a guy's integrity unless I don't even have an unless. Like,
no, I mean, just don't.
Period. Stop.
Just don't do it. One last thing I want to talk about before we, I guess, end the show is, how do you feel about the warnings to centermen rather than tossing them? Because we've seen it in the World Juniors, NHL, juniors down here in the States do it.
The NHL, it's only after icings. It's only after icings in the NHL. The NCAA rule book is every face off, instead of toss in the center, you just reset, give them the one.
Yep.
I don't know what USA Hockey Junior is doing.
You get the warning, reset, and then if
so
you warn again, then it's the minor penalty.
Yeah. That's standard. So it's just the reset. It's not
we don't
center,
pitch.
but the guy that because the rule in junior used to be the guy that messed up your face off couldn't take it.
Correct. So if the back winger was approaching,
yeah. Okay. So I think it speeds up the game. If we're doing it correctly, because it's really one of those, oh, you fucked up, stand up, blow your whistle, or blow your whistle, get right back down and let's go. Instead of lollygagging, trying to figure out who's going to take the face off, this and that. Because the NHL obviously put it in to prevent guys from extending the time off that icing play.
Correct.
So I don't know. I like it. I don't mind it. I think it also, and think about it this way too. For the most part now, every team's got 4 centers. So now you're only dealing with 8 different guys coming into the face-off circle all night. And you can set your standards as linesmen quick and early. And then you just hold it there, and you don't have to worry about random guys coming in to take your face off. Because let's be honest, that second attempt when a winger comes in to take it is always horse shit.
Yeah, it's just throw your stick on the ice.
Because we're literally just trying to put the puck down, because none of us want to be that guy that says, oh, fuck you, delay a game.
Yep. But so I see both sides of it, though. Personally, I would rather be allowed to toss a center, because that sends a bigger message. I understand, especially in the junior level, having the kids take the center.
Would say it's kind of an equal message sent, in my opinion.
Well, the issue is I can warn you, but it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your team. So if the back wingers are cheating on me, and my partner goes, hey, that's one white or whatever. I look at white center. I say, dude, you better be perfect here as I put this puck down. But it doesn't affect the team. So what's stopping that same winger from the next face-off doing it again?
Well, the next face-off, and they could do it every time.
Well, exactly. And the Finnish, for some reason, this tournament have been excellent at that. I mean, the amount of warnings I think the Finns got tonight, even against the U.S., were astronomical, because it's one of those things where you give the one, and then the odds are of a linesman, calling that the second warning to make it a delay game.
Zero.
It's none, because you're just trying to put that puck down.
Yeah.
So there's no consequence for the cheating.
Yeah, I get that. But it's a pace of play thing, because now that guy encroaches, you got to stand up. Okay, which one of you two idiots is taking the face off? Come on over here, get everybody relined up, where in this way you legit stand up, one, blow your whistle, crouch, and just drop it. Like, you're firing it off in less than 5 seconds instead of waiting 10 to 15 to figure out, your new center.
I agree on the pace of play, but it's one of those things where if you're warning them every other face-off, it becomes at a certain point of, okay.
Oh, it becomes a nuisance.
Exactly. And then you look at your referee and you're like,
but there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, you don't want to be the guy to call the second one, right? Nobody,
no.
Especially as a linesman. My job as a linesman is to make my referee's life easy and get the puck down.
Well, and also, too, like, we're taking the temperature of the game. If there's no reason to call that second one, don't. But, like, let's say the coach is being an asshole and, you got your wingers being jerks the whole time. You might just have to do it.
Yes, but I think it's a lot easier in the first period is if the back wingers are being dumb, or even if the front wingers are being dumb, you look at the center and pitch him, and then you look at the center and be like, hey, you're not taking this face off because of that winger right there. And 9 out of 10 times, that centerman looks at his winger and tells him to go fuck himself. Yeah. And then the next face-off, they're perfect because that centerman wants to take his face-off. That centerman's out there for a reason.
I think, too, like, having experienced it at the pro level and the junior, if as a linesman, I think if we do a better job of taking command of our face-offs, we don't even have these problems. Because, like, my cadence is a little unique to me. The way I do it is I stand on the dot. Okay. Yep. So I stand on the dot, referee puts his arm down, I blow the whistle. And I still stand on the dot. I wait for the wingers. I get my wingers in front of me. Okay, you guys are good. I turn around while still on the dot. Wingers behind me. All right, on your hash marks. Spread out. Stay there, don't move. And then I turn around, tell the centers, all right, let me present the puck and then we'll go. So then I crouch. And then I tell, okay, listen for me. And then I just say go. And then I put the puck down. Like, I legit tell the centers when I'm dropping the puck. And the wingers know, because it becomes repetitive. And two, like when I was working the SP full time, I saw the same teams all the time. And I tell guys, like, hey, all you got to do is listen. You don't have to jump. Stay still. Listen. All right, white down, black down, go. Done. So, but that's me taking command of the face-off circle, whereas, some guys might not necessarily, everyone does it a little different. I'm not saying my way's right. Whatever. But it's just one of those, like, I think if everyone were to take command of their face-off circle a little more and lay down the law early, we don't have the problems later.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that at all, because, I have kind of the same cadence as I stand on the dot. I check the back guys first. I don't know why. I just check back guys first. I say hash mark circle. I look at the front wingers, and 9 out of 10 times you just look at them, and they'll move to where you need them to be. And then I look at my centers. I say, let me in, stick, and pucks down. The only thing that would make I guess, my life easier is in that first period when you are setting the tone for faceoffs for the remainder of the game. Is it's really easy in the first period to pitch a center and be like, "Yo, dude, it's that winger," because then everybody knows that, hey, we're not doing that tonight. We're just going to line up. And if you don't want to listen to said instructions, because they're not hard, it's just stay on your hash marks, stay outside the circle.
Yep.
It's not rocket science.
I mean,
and to me, it sends a bigger message than just a warning.
Being able to gas the guy, I mean, obviously that's the best thing, because especially like if it's their first line center coming out and it's a power play and they're banking on getting the puck right off the bat, like I get that. Like, but we're in the business of scoring goals and entertaining, and you want the best guy available to take the face off. So that's the analytics side coming in and saying, hey, here's what we want. So you just like, hey, bud, your wingers get it right, or you guys go shorthanded and face off goes to the end of the ice.
Yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword. I don't think there is a right answer to it.
No, there really isn't. Like, it can go, you could do it either way. So
yeah, it was something that came up again on the Facebook page, and then like I actually was watching it during the Finland US game, and it's one of those things. Even working junior hockey, I mean, working a league where you can't pitch a center, it's weird, but it makes sense. But it's also frustrating. But I understand it. So I think that wraps up this episode, Ross, unless you have anything else you would like to add.
But the only thing I got is if anyone wants us to talk about any kind of other weird, quirky, or like, cause we're a referee podcast at the end of the day. Like, obviously we sit here, we talk about, the schedule, the this, the that, but we really want to focus more on talking about the referee side of stuff.
Yep.
So we need more things. Like, obviously that we had a good clip there with that offside and talking about the Finn team with the face-offs. Like, we just want more of that. And obviously with the NHL getting going here shortly again, we're going to have so much to talk about with every team in action. So that's all I got. If you want to talk about anything, let us know. I'm going to go ahead and plug the Team Stripes Academy. If you want to improve your officiating and learn from one of the best to ever do it, Team Stripes Academy, learn from Mr. Don Koharski and some of the other Team Stripes boys, Jamie and Brenden Bourgeois and Logan and the likes. So
yeah, and also our YouTube page is 13 subscribers away from 1,000. As all of you know, we've been on the road to 1,000. There's going to be a massive giveaway. We are hopefully going to be able to announce what the winners will receive, the top, one, first, second, third. It doesn't matter if you were the very first subscriber or the 1,000th subscriber. You're all going to be put into a random like Google engine that just pops out a name. And obviously being 13 away, that means you only have 13 more spots to be the first 1,000 subscribers. After that, we cut it off. So if you're 1,001, you miss out. So if I were you guys, I would go subscribe today, right after listening to this, because you definitely want first place. Heck, I would even be happy with second place. You know what? I'd probably even be happy with third place, because it's going to be a great giveaway, a great contest, and we are 13 subscribers away, which is awesome. So
yes, I'd love to get that by next week.
Oh, that would be amazing. So thank you guys for listening to episode 81 of the Team Stripes podcast. As always, we have a massive shout out to our sponsors at Acme Whistles. You can go to our store at goteamstripes.com and buy an Acme whistle. The black ones, the silver ones, chrome one, whatever you want. We have them. They're awesome. I love Acme, and have a great week, guys.